Hello and welcome to a rainy day episode of the Keeping It Wood podcast.
Yay!
Yeah.
Gotta orient my chair here.
Make
sure I
get
face the
together.
crowd. There we go.
Make sure you're comfortable. Your tush is in a
I'm very
nice,
comfortable.
comfortable position.
Gotta support the lumbar spine. There we go.
Oh yeah, lumbar, big words. I didn't get that in public school. Yeah, jjwoodcomedy.com. Check out all the upcoming shows. You know the shit that I usually say.
Mm-hmm.
Just do all that stuff. Follow me on social media at jjwoodcomedy. I'm trying to get to 10,000 TikTok followers so I can start making some money off this shit.
Mm-hmm. And he's at 111, so we got to keep climbing, folks. We're getting close.
I'm actually almost at 500 on TikTok.
Hey, there we go.
It went up from
I had no idea what you were at. I just thought it'd be funny to insinuate.
Exactly.
Guys, we're trying to get to 10K. I'm at 13.
I am at 3 followers on this podcast.
I made 3 bot accounts. And I followed myself with 2 of them. I got to earn that 3rd one. I like this setup because I can see myself in the window.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, man, my hair looks like shit. So I'm going to be thinking that the whole time. There we go.
Yeah. I did that on purpose.
Yeah.
I know sometimes you could feel like insecure, but your hair looks good.
Yeah. That way, if I start feeling too good about myself, I can just look and be like, you know what? That's who's talking right now. Keep it in line.
Humble yourself
Yeah.
a bit, I love that, man. This episode is sponsored by Monica's Stain Remover. Mm-hmm. That's right. It's not the Monica that you're thinking about. You know, the old Monica Lewinsky. Skeet. Mm-hmm. But it's like her third cousin. Hit up Monica's Stain Removers and get them stains out your pants. She also has a service where she will show up to your side chick's house to get the stain out of your pants before you head home to your main chick. Monica's Stain Removers. This is not a real business.
That would be very helpful, though.
Yeah.
Stain removal.
You know, I just came up with that, like just right here on the spot, man. I really feel like
it's a good business idea.
I should just hang out at Shark Tank.
I think you should.
And then they'll be like, "You're here again?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I have more ideas."
Like, I'm an idea guy. Okay?
I'm constantly coming up with them, dude.
I don't like to get weighed down by facts and figures. That's you guys' job.
Yeah.
You guys handle the boring shit. I'll come up with the ideas.
I come up with ideas so frequently, and it never stops, bro. Pooping ideas, dude. Shower ideas, huh? I'm at the movies, dude. I'm getting ideas.
True. Yeah. What I like to do when I go to the
circus,
movies,
I get ideas.
True. Well, I like to just when I go to the movies, I'm like, okay, here's the exact plot of this movie. I'm just gonna remake that. It's like here's a good idea already. Right. That's what I do with comedy as well. Like if somebody has a good joke, why would I try to make a joke that's bad? I just use theirs because it's already good.
Yeah.
It's called imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. All about flattering people.
It's like I didn't steal your joke. I was paying homage.
Yeah, I'm paying homage. Exactly.
It's like I went to a couple weeks ago. I went to a Red Knot Chili Peppers concert.
Oh, is that like a tribute band?
It's like a tribute band, and they are one of 3 that are allowed to do it in the world.
Wow.
Yeah. So like everyone else getting cease and desist letters if they're doing that shit. But
wow.
I went because my friend's band, the Stylies, were opening for him, and so they're like, "Hey, dude, we got you on our guest list. Come watch the show."
Guest list.
And guest list, bro. I felt like a rock star, dude.
Yeah.
I felt like a rock star. I wore my rock star undies, which was none, and so I get to the show. My friends, they crush it. Had a great set, and then the Red Knot Chili Peppers got on, and dog, like they were fantastic. I'm not even gonna like deny it. They were fantastic musicians, bro. But man, I could not stop laughing because I'm just like, well, these people really just dress up and try to look just like these people. They play just like these people. They use the same equipment as these people and play their songs like they are those people.
So it's not just the music. They actually dress like individual members?
They dress like them and everything. And no, it's great. It's
very
awesome.
interesting.
And they make money off of that shit.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like Elvis impersonators. But like,
How many people were at this show? Was it just like a free show, or were people
no.
paying
It was
to
at
be there?
no, it was at Beer City. So it was like this band like tours around the country doing this shit.
Wow. Imagine if I started touring and I was like, "Do you want to hear Dave Chappelle's best bits?"
Oh, bro, you crush it.
Come see me.
Yeah.
It was a talking baby. Opening for Dave, I got Cat Williams. It's just me again. I just
Yeah?
walk around on my knees.
Do you do Asian comedians as well?
I can do anybody. That's
You can do
that's the beauty of a tribute act. Is it's not racist. I'm just paying homage. Like I usually go Ali Wong, and then Cat Williams,
Yep.
Dave Chappelle. Close it out with a little bit of Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
And the N-word use is heavy, but I'm paying tribute. That's how I see it. And that's how I've explained it on Twitter numerous times.
Yeah.
You know, people give me death threats for this, but they just don't understand my art, is what's going on.
If you're getting death threats, bro, you're doing something so right.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I said, like, these people, yeah, they're good at their art, whatever, but I'm able to, in the same span of 2 hours, be a pregnant Asian woman, and then a small black pimp. Who's the real artist? Cat Williams has only ever been a small black pimp. Ali Wong has only ever been a usually pregnant Asian woman.
It's like,
I've both.
how many times in your lifetime will you get someone who could play Ali Wong and Cat Williams on the same show?
Yeah. It's really...
When does that happen? It never does.
It's quite a bargain. And I think that... I think I need to increase ticket prices for something like that.
Is it $12 now?
Yeah, that would be awesome to see a comedic tribute act. I wonder how you get there. Like, this band that does the Red Hot Chili Peppers impersonation, tribute, they just call it a tribute act? Or are they saying they're impersonators? I'm sure within the community there's a little bit of hang up on the jargon. I'm sure if you called them an impersonator, they'd be like, how dare you? Like, we're paying homage, we're a tribute act. I wonder, like, were they a band and they were like, dude, our shit sucks. Like, should we just do somebody else's thing?
Dude, it's like the movie Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg. Have you seen that?
Maybe. What's the plot of it?
So it's like Mark Wahlberg is a singer. He's obsessed with this band Steel Dragon, but he is like the lead singer. So everything he does is just like the lead singers. Like, he follows this guy like almost like a psycho, to where it's like, I want to be this person. You know what I mean?
We've all done it.
And then and we've all done that shit, dude. I mean, I was the same way with Fat Albert.
Exactly.
Fucking, I wanted to be Fat Albert, dude. I wanted to be the Mask, not Jim Carrey. I wanted to be the green dude.
The green guy.
The fucking green guy.
Yeah. So Mark Wahlberg impersonates, or I guess pays
and so
tribute
then
to.
what happens is the band kicks that lead singer out, and so they call him to come and replace him.
How did they know about him? Was he was he a known stalker?
No. So
a little bit of an open tryout situation?
He was filmed by a couple girls he knew.
Nice.
That
you got to know girls. Groupies. That's key.
100%. They were groupies, and they went and started fucking the band. Saw all the shit that's going on behind the scenes, and they said, hey, we got this dude way better.
Nice.
And so those guys called him up and said, hey, bro, we need you to be the lead singer of this band. Wow. But the whole time...
And that's how the movie ends, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then that's it. And then he fucking dies in a plane crash.
Does he
spoiler.
Really? No, that would have been awesome.
No.
That would have been a great
But it's
ending.
funny because, like, in
the plane he's on hits the Twin Towers.
In that movie, like, he's talking about their original songs with his band, and he's like, our songs suck, bro. They're like, this is a great one. He's like, nuh-uh, they suck. Like, yeah, it's a good movie. You should watch it. The
Rock Star.
The Rock Star, dude. Mark Wahlberg, dude. It's a good one.
Out.
Yeah, no, good times. I got pretty high before we did this, so I am munching, dude. So
he's got good snacks. Here we go.
I just came straight from the convenience store to do this shit, dog. All right. And we're probably not going to eat all of this yet. But I got me an Arizona tea, dude.
Beautiful. That is a big can. Wow.
Yep. I mean, shit, I could get them in like a gallon jug, too. I used to do that.
These are really 99 cents?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
100%.
impressive.
$1.07.
Wow, they're losing millions of dollars, I'm sure.
Fucking, you know what? But I'm drinking Arizona tea, been for years, and I'm happy. Got me some like chocolate covered donuts, dog.
Lovely.
I'm a big fan, dude. You gotta pop that shit like a Pringle with some sour cream and onion chips, dude. Yeah.
This is because usually
This is a
a Coke can is smaller than this.
Yeah.
But usually a Pringles can is bigger than this. I find that interesting. You got the smallest Pringles can and the largest metallic can I've ever seen.
I live life on the edge, dog.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. I got some Twinkies, bro.
This is an interesting amalgamation of snacks.
You know what I get for getting high than going to the convenience store?
Iced tea, a Twinkie, a chocolate donut, and some chips. This is girl dinner. That's what that is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Got some hose.
Of course.
You got to get the hose.
It's important to have the hose on deck.
I got the jumbo glazed blueberry donuts, dog. I fuck with those heavy.
Are you sponsored by Hostess?
Fuck no, dude. They're just all they had. Like, if there was another brand, too, I'd get that. I just look at it, I'm like, is that good?
So we got 4 Hostess items here. I think this could replace Monica's Stain Removal as your main title sponsor.
Yeah, but Hostess ain't paying me yet. Neither is Monica's, but whatever. And then some Oreos for later. I got that.
Lovely.
Get some milk, dude.
Oreos for dessert.
Dog, like, just put the Oreos in the milk and just let them sit for, like, 2 minutes.
Is that real?
Yeah, dude. And it's
I've
like
never
so
tried that.
soft and soggy. Just like, fuck.
Huh.
Anyway, I don't know. You want any of this, bro?
I'm good for now. I got a Coke Zero. That's
Okay,
my main.
You're watching your figure. I get it.
Honestly, I even if I liked regular Coke, I would just drink it. It's not about that. I just like Coke Zero.
I figure.
I just enjoy Coke Zero.
No, man. Big fan.
You know who I'm trying to get on Coke Zero is Tyler Barris.
Yeah?
He's a Diet Coke guy. I'm trying to get him to try Coke Zero because he's a pretty loyal guy. Respect that. I want him to try Coke Zero because Coke Zero is the only thing I drink besides water. And so I'm trying to have something in common with Tyler. We're also both convicted felons. So we do have a lot in common there. But other than that, we want, because people are like, oh, you guys are close friends. What do you have in common? We're like, well, we both did a crime. It'd be nice to say we both enjoy Coke Zero.
Yeah. You guys just like write your names on walls in the prison?
I was the bottom bitch, unfortunately. He was the kingpin, though. He did whatever he wanted in our time inside. That's how we got to know each other.
Yeah.
He was like, damn, they're treating you bad. And he started to protect me. And that's how we became friends.
Dude, let's go to the, let's give some bad advice, dude. I mean, you're a convicted felon, right?
Boy.
Yeah, let's do some bad advice from a convicted felon. Let's do some bad advice about bathroom etiquette, public restroom etiquette.
Public restroom etiquette. Mm-hmm. Just in general, like what are you doing there? I would usually, and when you say bad advice,
do you wash your hands before you pee?
I do not. I've never even considered that. Is that something people do?
I do.
Really?
Sometimes.
Before you pee. What's the logic there?
It's just so I have the cleanest dick in the world.
Cleanest dick in the world.
So if someone sees me, like, that's JJ. That dude has the cleanest dick in the world. Like, how do you know that? He washes his hands before he pees. Because, like, think of it, man. Like, if you go to the bathroom after you've just, like, touched all kinds of shit, you've shaken all kinds of hands, and then you go to pee and, like, you whip your dang-a-lang out, dude, and you start touching it with those hands. So you pee, and then you go, you wash your hands, but your dick dirty. You know what I mean?
I think what I'm trying to do is just build up my penis's immune system. Introducing a little bit of germs at a time, and then building up that penile immune system, which is very important. So that way, when I get exposed to AIDS or gonorrhea, which I'm sure will inevitably happen the next time I'm in prison, I have a little bit of penile defense system built up.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like a vaccine, you know? Like a vaccine introduces a little bit of the virus to give you some antibodies. I'm sure I'm touching all sorts of hepatitis infested items, and then I'm touching my penis and giving it the ability to build up those antibodies so that when I am exposed to that in a more intense situation, I'm ready. Correct. But the cleanest dick in the world, there's a lot of penises out there.
Yeah.
That's a big title. I think that would be a good idea for an episode, is you put out an APB and you say, if you think that you have a clean penis, if you think your penile hygiene is tip-top, come on down to the apartment complex, come to the conference room at this time. We will inspect each and every penis for cleanliness, both visual, we'll do the sniff test, of course.
Got to do
the touch test, the suck test, if we have any volunteers for that. And I think that we could have a vote who has the cleanest penis in the world. I think that'd be compelling.
And then there would be like, scientific experiments done on the cleanest penis. But my thing is, are you saying that we don't need to be wearing condoms no more? Because like in that case, we're putting, like, our dicks are bubble boys. You ever seen the movie Bubble Boy?
I'm familiar with the concept of the bubble boy.
So like our dick is Bubble Boy.
Yeah. I think the condom, as simple as it is kind of an incredible invention. Not only is it preventing pregnancy, it's preventing the spread of sexually transmitted diseases and infections, which is really, really quite incredible.
It is.
I think that even if you're...
But it's also a bitch move, Trojan. I'm just kidding.
I think if your penile health, it maybe from a health standpoint, you've built up that penile immunity. I'm just going to say penile as many times as I can. And then, but the pregnancy aspect, I think you still have to wear a condom just because it's the polite thing to do.
That's true. Okay. Trojan's not going to like us.
They're going to be your next sponsor. Hostess, Trojan, Arizona, Iced Tea. How is that 99 cents? That's crazy.
Dog, I think in some countries it was like $1.94 or some shit like that. But...
Well, it's like it says on the can that it's 99 cents.
Yeah, there's like...
Imagine, I bet they put that on there because I bet some stores will try to upcharge.
They will. But Arizona Tea don't give a fuck about recession. The Arizona Tea don't give a fuck about inflation.
I mean, they have to be going
Arizona
out of business, right?
Nah, man. They've been going hard for years, dog.
I mean, you could going hard into the red. I mean, their books, their balance sheet must be in shambles. 99 cents is not much.
I think Arizona Tea, the creators of it, were probably trust fund babies.
What is the company called? I just wanted a quick Google search. Is this company profitable?
Well, it's an American company.
Oh, then no fucking chance. Okay, what's it called? Arizona Tea? Okay. Is Arizona Tea...
What's like the net worth of Arizona Tea right now?
I just want to see if it's profitable. Is Arizona Tea profitable? The short answer. This is funny.
There's a short answer.
They said the short answer, the company's making a lot less money. Let's see. What is the total? Oh, come on. Just give me a... Come on. I'm going to look for 30 seconds. If I can't find it, then
You're good. I just think...
They are skating by. It says they're making a lot less money, but they're going to cling to 99-cent prices for as long as they can.
Fuck yeah.
That's really interesting.
That's like, they're American heroes, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just cannot wrap my head around... Because I think here's kind of a more... Like, lower prices as a consumer, obviously better. But at what point do the low prices erode the company's bottom line to such a point that they start having to have layoffs? It's like, oh, if we charged $1.20, we could pay all our employees a living wage and nobody gets fired, but you have to pay 20 more cents. What's the right thing to do there? I think that's an interesting moral quandary. Because higher prices, and we're assuming, which is almost never true, we're assuming a morally upstanding board of directors. That almost never happens. But say the board of directors, for the sake of argument, this is an interesting moral dilemma. Say the board of directors, now we're not even talking about Arizona Tea, just a fictitious company. Board of directors are morally upstanding individuals, and they want to maximize the well-being of both the consumer and the employee. Would you rather have like overhire, so you have a lot of people, nobody's working too hard, nobody's having to work overtime, you pay everybody a really nice wage, full salary benefits, but because you got to cover your costs, your product costs more. So the consumer is having to pay more money, which is worse for them, but the employees are taken care of. Or would you like the consumer to get as cheap of a product as possible, assuming quality is the same, which, again, that's a big assumption, but that means you can't take care of the employees. They make less. You have to have less total employees, so they're all working harder, and from time to time you're going to have layoffs to cut costs to keep the price down. What's actually the morally correct move there?
Man,
I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, that's kind of adjacent to the Amazon question.
Yeah.
A lot of people love to get up in arms about, oh, Amazon's evil. They don't pay their employees well enough. They all work all these long hours. But of everybody that says that, I don't know a single one of them that has boycotted Amazon. That doesn't use Prime, that doesn't use anything to do with Amazon, because they make a good point. The employees for Amazon should have better working hours.
Right.
They should be paid a better wage and be treated more fairly. That would mean the products cost more. So I think that's an interesting, there's always a trade-off.
Right.
Everybody that's like we got to pay the workers more. It's like, well, yeah, then you have to pay more for the product. So I think there's an interesting trade-off there. I would say, because I understand basic economics, that yeah, I would be willing to pay more for these products, but I also am in a situation where I'm not hurting financially. So I'm sure that there's some people that are like, no, I'm just barely skating by. If I have to pay more for these products, I can't afford them anymore. So now fuck that company because they raise prices. But the same company that you were saying, oh, fuck them, well, they're paying their employees better. So there's always a trade-off there. I think it's interesting. What would you say, is there a right answer? Like, what's the responsibility of the company? Make it best for the customer or make it best for the employee? Because it can't be best for both, because that would be impossible.
Right.
It can't just be the perfect situation for everybody. So if you had to be the moral arbiter and say, the responsibility of the company, is it to make the employees the best off or the customers the best off?
You know, I would have to say the employees.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know. I think, this is a good one. Because unless, like, you just want Arizona Tea just to be ran like a family business where it's like they keep it in the family as running it. You know, you got Auntie Jen does the taxes. You know, you've got fucking old little Michael since the age of 8 was like fucking filling all the tea in this. You know, you got grandma brewing the fucking tea in a fucking cottage in Yellowstone, you know? So you could do that, but then you are not going to be able to put out as much product as if, you know, you just got a bunch of like trailer park kids from fucking some small town in Delaware, dude.
Or what they're probably doing, a company their size.
Slave labor.
It's all automated. It's definitely some massive factory that shits out 500,000 cans a week.
AI.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely some site. Like, there's no way that human hands are assembling these cans.
I figured it out. This is what Arizona Tea has been using AI for
Probably
over 20 years.
Probably so. They've definitely been using some type of something.
No, because this is how they're keeping this shit so cheap. They're not having to pay anyone to do it. They don't have employees.
They probably don't have very many employees. I bet if we looked it up, it's a massive factory. They've achieved incredible economies of scale. And I'm assuming because they're not exactly innovating new products, right? A lot of a company's costs are marketing and innovating new products. But if they have a strong customer base that likes the cheap can, they don't really need to do a lot. I've never seen an advertisement for Arizona Tea. So I'm sure that most of their customer base is just like, damn, this big-ass can.
Holy shit. Dog.
What'd we find?
552 employees.
That's crazy. Because their revenue last year was $3 billion.
Okay, wait. Okay, now this other one is saying over 1,000.
Still.
But that's August.
Amazon has 1.5 million employees.
Holy shit, dude. So over 1,000 people are keeping this thing.
That's very few employees for a $3 billion company.
But here's the thing. If you put out more product, you're getting more of a profit.
Not necessarily.
You don't think?
It depends. Well, it depends. It depends on if your cost of goods goes up or down the more you produce. So, I mean, I'm assuming we're making wild assumptions here, but
what if like over 1,000 employees is over 1,000 AI robots?
Like the employee they're using, like in a factory to produce the cans.
Yep. And they're calling them employees. They gave them names and everything, like Ted and Tabitha. You got old Tabitha.
And they're just working 24/7. That'd be really funny, actually.
Fucking Tabitha showed up late the other day. You know what I mean?
That would be interesting. So
she got a write up.
If you have a robot employee,
you write them up.
Yeah. What if AI gets to the point where it's sentient, and you have artificial intelligence in a machine that has autonomy? If that robot is late to work, what's the that's just a funny concept to think about.
Absolutely possible.
Because
so if the employee is an AI robot and it is late to work, what do you do?
Yeah, I think, well, as far as the moral quandary of what's a company's responsibility, I think there is no right answer, so we can table that one. I think that I just like those kind of thought experiments where it takes like a very cookie cutter idea where people are like, oh, companies should pay employees, and people are like, oh, companies should have cheap products. It's like, well, you can't do that.
Right.
Somebody's gonna get fucked. You know, that's not how it works. And I do like kind of deconstructing that because I think it's interesting because there's always trade-offs.
Right.
Because I'm a business owner, small business, but it's like you understand to a certain extent how the backroom stuff works. Where it's like, well, the reason we got to charge this is because our electric bill's really high and we have to pay all these people that work for us. Right. So, yeah, you may think the product's expensive. I'm not getting any of that money. It's going to all my other shit. So I think there's an interesting trade-off there. Now, as far as like if you had robot employees, this is hilarious. If you had robot employees and a robot is late to work, that's so funny to imagine. Like the robot slacking off like a human, because people like the idea of robotics is that it just operates 24/7. So that would be so like a robot employee is like, sorry, I was getting my oil changed. Oh my God, that's so funny. What do you do with I'd say just don't unplug. You just unplug him. Don't charge him.
Like I'm mad at it, dude. I got mad at my. I have 2 Alexas, like 2 Alexa Echo Dots.
You have 2. Do they fight?
With me, like I got mad at one, dude. Like and I just fucking threw it in the trash, dude. I got so mad.
Whoa!
Because I was just like,
hey, scrappy.
Play this song, and it just like wouldn't fucking play, and I'm just like, yo, dude, like what the fuck? And eventually, it just like, sorry, I can't understand that, or sorry, I can't understand that, and I was like, and I like grabbed it, fucking threw it away, and I was like, fuck you, dude. And then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, oh shit, I can't throw that away. It knows too much.
Yeah.
It listens to me all the time. I can't throw it away because she'll be a jealous bitch and fucking ruin my life, or try to at least. Yeah. I don't want to fucking deal with that fucking headache. It's stupid.
All your info's in the cloud. You're already screwed.
So what I did was I plugged her back in, said I'm sorry, and now we're going to therapy.
Good.
We're using ChatGPT. It's great.
It's a ChatGPT therapist.
That's a therapist. We're doing okay. Yeah. That's it, man. Fuck, dude.
Is that the next step? Because like online, like I remember when BetterHelp and online therapy stuff came out. It was like, are you fucking serious? Is this actually helping anybody? Like, you're getting charged the same amount as going to therapy.
Yeah.
But these therapists, they're just printing money, and so it's like, I'm sure talking to someone does help, but now in the future, it's just going to go to an AI therapist.
Yep. Well, I had Hamza on the podcast a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about this, like. BetterHelp, like those therapists, like they don't have fucking time to deal with every single person. So it's like you're not even getting like a good quality therapist.
No chance. Yeah.
No chance.
No
and
chance.
Like this shit's too fucking expensive as it is, man. I even use like a Bert Kreischer code to try to do like the thing. It was like $230 a month, and I'm like, nah, dog. I'll just say stupid shit on stage.
Yeah, they're printing money because they're charging the same prices as like an in-office therapist. And an in-office therapist overhead is a quadrillion times higher. They're just in their home on a Zoom call So if the therapists that are on BetterHelp aren't printing money, BetterHelp's probably making all the money. That's how they can run all these ads.
Yeah.
The reason they run all these, a business that big isn't going to do something that's not profitable. So they're like, oh, the more ads we run, the more we shove this shit down people's throats, we're just printing money. Mm-hmm. And so everybody's getting a discount code. Oh my God, it's 30% off. It's like their profit's 99% anyways. So that's really interesting. I wonder when it will go to an AI therapist. And if AI therapy, if people will actually find a benefit in that. I think that would be interesting.
Can you imagine having an AI therapist and you ask it? Like,
it's definitely going there for sure.
You're going to have it. It's like, I don't know what to do. And it's just like, man, just say it is what it is. I'd be like, I'm paying $45 fucking a fucking minute for this shit.
You know what's interesting? I bet I was kind of ragging on it just a second ago. AI therapy, I bet it could be super cheap. And I bet you'd actually get some pretty good unbiased advice. Because I do think humans have inherent biases. And a human therapist, no matter how hard they try, their experience is going to shape or cloud, whatever connotation you want to use, their advice they give you, despite their training and professionalism. Right. But an AI therapist is the ultimate cold, calculated machine. So if they had all of the knowledge from all the psychological textbooks shoved into one, and it was just like, here's kind of what I'm going through, and the back and forth you could have once like a chat bot gets there might be, I'm not saying it's going to be great. It might not be terrible. That would be really interesting. I actually would give that a try because I would know it would be unbiased, hopefully.
Do you think that AI would ever like run the country? Like if we had like AI leaders?
I think eventually some form of that will probably take place. It's like every time people say something's 10 years away, 10 years later, we've made like one step towards it. Mm-hmm. So I do think getting to that level, it either happens way faster or way slower than you think. Like rarely is new technology on time. Like, you know, when people were first starting to use the internet, they were like, in 20 years, we may be able to communicate electronically. And then it's like 6 months later, people were FaceTiming, you know?
Right.
And then, like, I remember in the 80s, people were like, we're going to have teleportation and we're going to go to Mars and we're going to have a colony there. And it's like, we can't even figure out how to get back to the moon. So stuff's either really early or really late. So either alternative general intelligence or whatever they're called, AGI, like a super advanced AI is going to, in like 5 years, it's going to outpace everybody's expectations. Or like 50 years from now, they're still going to be figuring out like, okay, ChatGPT 27, does it work yet? So I do think it'd be interesting, like how integrated are we going to allow that type of system to be? I do think regardless of efforts, progress, for better or worse, is inevitable. So I think eventually stuff like that, because people already use algorithmic models and all sorts of things, which are a few steps short, but a semblance of artificial intelligence to make decisions all the time. Like, okay, if we implement this military strategy, what's the monetary cost? What's the human cost? What's the geopolitical cost? They have all these algorithms and programs and, you know, scenarios they can run to try to see what would happen. And so I'm sure that the next level of that is basically just going to be like, oh, AI, should we bomb Russia? And they're like, don't do that. And then,
okay.
Yeah. So I think that yes, but maybe not in the form, like it probably won't be like some robot out there in front of the White House. But there probably will be some type of.
We already have one of those. Do you think like
that dude's struggling,
dude? Yeah, it's election year too, bro.
He's struggling.
It's like it's so hard to watch. Like
I know.
I don't know. I just hope the next president has a good time. That's all I care about.
I did hear. I think it was William Montgomery on Kill Tony. It was right after the Israel-Palestine situation like really hit a fever pitch. His new minute for that week, he's like, Israel and Palestine. I can't really do his voice. He's like, I don't really know what to make of the conflict. I just hope they're both having a good time. It made me laugh so hard.
I think Ari Shaffir had a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Where he was talking about, he's like, all right, you know, all this stuff's going on. People are asking my opinion.
Because he's Palestinian. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, he's some sort of...
he's Israeli. He's the opposite of that.
But he was like, all right, guys, like, here's my point of view. You know, there's this big massacre going on and stuff, and it's just Dak Prescott's not the guy.
Dude, I've seen that. That was so funny.
Fucking, it's so brilliant because it's like, you think he's going to talk about that?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Like, God, it's such a good joke. I love jokes like that, dude.
I used to not, just because I'd only seen him on like podcasts and stuff, he kind of comes off a certain way, which is intentional. You know, he's doing his shtick. Shtick probably makes it say he's a smart guy, so he's doing it on purpose. And I didn't dislike him, but I was just like, he's not really for me. Then I went and actually watched, you know, his stand-up specials and stuff. I think I watched Double Negative on Netflix. I watched A Jew on YouTube, and I think he had one more before that I watched. I was like, this guy's really sharp. He's actually like a really good joke writer, and I think it was a good lesson for me. I was like, dang, how often do I offhandedly say that I dislike something, and I don't even know enough about it to form an opinion?
Right.
I was thinking about that the other day because I think it's so easy just to be like, oh, that sucks. It's like you don't even know anything about it.
Right.
Like our AI president. You know, everybody dislikes our AI. I think our Big Brother, you know.
Yeah, but it shits just like everyone else, you know, except he just shits his pants.
I know, dude, it's so funny. I love seeing, you know, I'm not pro-Trump or pro-Biden. I think they're both a little, you know. And I also think the government has gotten so large and there's so many levels of bureaucracy, I don't know how much power the president really has. Because the information they're getting is going through so many filters by the time it gets to them. I don't even know if they're getting the truth. How much power do they really have to affect change? I mean, because usually change comes from the people that are like hands-on. It's just, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm sure the office of the president still has a lot of power, but how well are they able to even wield that power? Because they're so far removed from, it's like you're just overseeing everything. So you can't have in-depth knowledge of all the things. So you have your cabinet members and your subcommittees that have this in-depth knowledge, but they have agendas too. They're trying to get reelected. They're trying to keep their status or improve their status. So they're only giving you the information through their filter and their lens to influence an outcome the way they want that will improve their status and standing. So maybe an AI government is the solution to that on the extreme other example, because it could just be cold calculating, you know, tell us what you want. Do you want the most number of people to, you know, not be in poverty? Do you want, you know, the gross domestic product of the country to increase? And it's just like, spit out, like shit out at a solution for that. I think that would be interesting.
I think AI stopping cancel culture would be cool too.
That'd be really funny.
They're like, we're going to cancel this person. AI was like, shut the fuck up.
AI comes out and it's like, guys, JJ Wood can say the N-word. We're just going to, we're going to put that out there. It's from AI, so you can believe it. Sam Altman.
Paying tribute.
He's paying tribute. That's just me and my act. I'm paying tribute to other great black performers that have come before me.
I would love like AI giving out bad advice like that, you know?
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Did you know ChatGPT, it's actually like wrong all the time? Have you seen those where it's like you'll ask it a question and because of the way that because it's just a language learning model, it doesn't quite, it can give the because of the way it communicates back, it can give the appearance of like cohesive thoughts, but it's just like drawing on these system architecture. I'm going to mess up the word terminology, but I saw these examples of where you would ask it, and it's funny when it's a basic question, you know, but imagine a complex question. It can present the answer in a really compelling, thought out way, but it's just totally wrong. Like, this is not a real example I saw, but this is like, imagine this. You're like, ChatGPT, what is 2 + 2? And they're like, well, 2 + 2 = 5. It's like, well, why does it equal 5? I thought it was 4. And they're like, well,
because I said so, motherfucker.
And they'll give out this whole long explanation of like the fundamental theories of mathematics that it's drawing on. And it's like, 2 + 2 does equal 5. Wow. But it's like, imagine a less obvious scenario where it's like, hey, ChatGPT, you know, should we bomb Russia? And it's like, yeah, you should bomb Russia because of this and this and that. And it's
you all fired.
It's acting like, on totally wrong information. I think that's what's
ChatGPT is like a wrong magic 8-ball.
Yeah, like
should we do this? And it's like, yeah.
Artificial intelligence, as of now, is only as good as the information it's being fed. So if the information is being fed is incomplete or skewed, then it's going to lead to wildly incorrect conclusions, which right now is very funny. But in the future could really fuck some things up, which is funny.
It's like you say something and then it like fucks up everything. You're like, oops, my bad.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen like Wikipedia? Like Wikipedia said it's like we are not a reliable news source.
Yeah.
Like that's funny. My buddy was like, one day we're arguing about it. He was like, no, man, Wikipedia said this guy like did this. And I'm like, dog, Wikipedia even says we are not a reliable news source.
The interesting thing about Wikipedia is that because it's all like just crowdsourced information, basically, it is right a lot of the time, but it is interesting when it's wrong because it's kind of like, it's the name of a logical fallacy, but I don't know what the fallacy is called. But it's like, here's an example of it. Like, say that somebody is an expert in one area.
Right.
They can speak on this topic expertly.
Right.
But they also know how to speak like an expert because they are one. Then they start talking about a different topic. They've built your trust here because it's like, damn, they know their shit. They know how to speak like an expert. They may not even realize they're using this expert speak on this other thing they don't know fuck shit about, but it sounds right because they know how to present it and they've earned your trust. So now they're just talking out of their ass, but you believe it and you act on that information. It's kind of like Wikipedia. A lot of entries on it are correct, and they can earn your trust because you see that it has correct information. Then you go to this other article that's total bullshit, but it's written as if it was correct from a source that you know is good at other shit. I think that's some of the danger with ease of access to information and just like large information aggregators is that, and it can happen interpersonally too. Like I'm sure you've talked to somebody who like is an expert at something, then they start talking about some other things. And they can sound like an expert because they know the rhythm, cadence, words, and all that to use about stuff. But they're just full of shit. I'm sure that we all do it unintentionally.
It's kind of like, how girls will not, like they'll fuck the football player in high school because they're like, wow, like he's so cool and he's so good at football, but he like sucks in bed. And so then they're like, all right, we're going to fuck these guys to sit at home and play Halo all day because they got away with their fingers.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and you were both. You were the star of the football team, great at Halo.
Yep.
You were always fucking.
Went all city 3 times, state twice.
Did you really?
No.
I was like, wow, that's sick.
Yeah. No, coach never put me in the fourth quarter. I actually got kicked off the basketball team my sophomore year of high
Did you
school.
really?
Yeah.
How'd you get kicked off?
I just didn't have good grades.
You
I
were
just
averaging
didn't care,
30 a
dude.
game.
Like I didn't care. And then what sucks is like I got really good at basketball after I got kicked off the team.
Damn, you just for the love of the game.
But
What's your
Like
main move? Are you like lockdown defense, post game, 3-point shot, court vision,
a defender, and yeah, I have a pretty good sick jump shot.
a little 3-and-D guy? A
Yeah.
lot of teams could
3
use
and
you
D,
right
baby.
now, man.
I don't know.
There is never.
I'm like every single player on the Oklahoma City Thunder right now, except Josh Giddey.
Because you prefer
Older women.
younger women.
Man, he got set up though, dog. He got fucking set up. I fucking know it, dude. Like that dude.
AI set him up, man.
Dude. AI.
Allen Iverson.
AI, dude. Allen Iverson.
set him
Allen Iverson set up Josh Giddey, bro. That's what fucking happened, dude. It's fucking.
People talk about Russian meddling in the election. I think she was a Russian agent.
She was. She looked Russian as
She's probably
fuck, dude.
41. They just age gracefully.
Yeah, no, with a fucking fake ID, dude. It's like, dog, she's not too young. She was too old.
Unfortunately, if I actually don't know a ton of the details about the case, but I have heard that he wasn't being charged. But the unfortunate part of this attempted redemption arc is that he's playing quite badly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's not delivering on the court. I'm sure the off-court shenanigans are not helping, but he's kind of holding our boys back. I'm a big Thunder fan, but
me too.
not a fan of the personal. I don't get as much into the personal lives. I just like watching the games.
So
I don't know a lot about the intricacies of basketball,
right?
But I do know his stats are bad.
Yeah. So here is what I believe happened.
Oh, here we go.
His rookie year, he was 19 years old. He's at a club in California. It's an 18 and over club. This little shawty walks up to him with an ID that says, well, no, she actually didn't walk in with the ID. He assumed she was already of age because there's security guards checking IDs.
The Rob Lowe situation.
Right? Mm-hmm. So then They have a night. He eventually finds out after a day or two, oh, wow, this girl is still in high school. He cuts off ties with her. He goes to Sam Presti and Adam Silver and says, hey, y'all, I fucked up.
Oh, did he really? Is this real? Or
This is a news story. No, this is a news story that came out.
This is verified. Okay.
And
Wikipedia?
yeah. ChatGPT did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he goes to Presti and Adam Silver and says, hey, y'all, this is what happened. Oops. And so they go to the family and the girl and say, all right, well, what you did, sis, was illegal as fuck. Ooh. Because being in possession of a fake ID is a felony. So it's like, we can ruin your whole life right now.
They played bully ball on this girl?
They could have. They could have just said like, hey, you know what? We're going to give you all this money. Shut the fuck up.
Wow. That's also
and so,
wild.
A couple years down the line, there's a dude at her school super bummed out that she's still obsessed over Josh Giddey and not going with him to the winter formal.
Is this real? Is this all real?
This is what I'm pretty sure is happening. I'm pretty fucking sure.
How many of these are...
I'm pretty right about a lot of things, man.
Okay.
So he gets mad and goes, you know what? I'm going to ruin this motherfucker's life.
Okay.
Puts that shit out. And here is why I think that. Because a week exactly before this news dropped, I was at the bank, and I was standing in line behind him at the ATM.
Behind the high schooler that was mad?
No. No, the Gidster himself, dude.
Yeah.
And
he turned to you and he said, you know what I love? Underage women.
Yeah. He was like, dude, random stranger. I fucked up. Here's what happened. And now I'm telling the story today.
No, my bad.
So
you were standing behind him at the bank.
I was like, holy shit, it's Josh Giddey.
Yeah.
I'm super stoked. And I was going to get him to record like a video for my niece who's like a big fan of his, you know, and just be like, hey kid, like follow your dreams, dip-a-doo-doo, like whatever, some shit like that. But I could feel his vibe and his energy, and I was just like, nah, dude, like something's off. He looked stressed out trying to pull money out of an ATM right now and had to go inside. So I said, you know what? I'll leave it for another day. And then a week later, that bombshell dropped, and I was like, good God.
Damn. So you think while he was trying to pull money out of the ATM, he was being weighed down by allegations of sexual misconduct?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
I didn't know you guys were such close friends.
Dude, me and Steven Adams were best friends, dog.
Steven Adams was a cool player on the team. He was fun to watch.
No, he was great. Okay. Shit. We didn't even talk about the movies. This has been fun.
Dude, I know.
We were talking about other shit. We had all these questions I want to say. You know what? Let's just get into it.
Yeah, I'm down to talk about anything.
We got like 10 minutes left. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't know we were on a.
Oh, I mean, I just like to keep them like under an hour at least.
That's fair.
Know?
That's fair.
You know, just people have. If you've gotten this far, good God, you're a big fan of me, and I'm so excited. Thank y'all very much for tuning in and listening. Hot dog. I just had some Twinkies.
This episode is brought to you by Monica's Stain Removal, so we appreciate that.
I got Twinkie stains on my pants. It's not dong aioli.
Mm-hmm.
That's my word for jizz.
Mm-hmm.
For baby juice. Well, that's because it's baby. Fuck. Ugh. We did some wild shows together, bro. Do you remember that time we did a show at a strip club in Wichita?
I remember it vividly.
You still? I still have dreams about that.
That was a crazy show.
Dog, it's like we get there and there is like 10 blue-collared construction guys that are just.
Was there that many people? I think there was like 6.
Yeah, I want to say 10.
All right, there was 10.
Let's go with 8.
8. There was 8. Yeah,
there's
continue.
8 of them there, and like, bro, they just had like a hard week, dude. They wanted to see titties, and then there's 4 dudes like. Talk to you about my butthole, dude. Like
here was the problem. So we get booked on a show to go up to Wichita, and we were told it's like, it's a cool burlesque lounge venue, and we're like, they're super psyched. We get there, and the patrons, first of all, it's not a burlesque lounge. It was a strip club. We show up, we're like, what the fuck? And so we're like, okay, there's patrons here. interacting with the women, do they know that this is going to stop and we're going to tell jokes? And they're like, no, it's like a surprise comedy show.
Oh.
We're like, wow. So they don't know that's going to happen. And let's just say they did not have a lot of patience. They wanted to see titties. They wanted to be entertained by young, beautiful women.
Right.
So not only did the dancing stop, then they had to listen to us for an hour and a half.
Hold on, keep going. Yeah, I'm just going to start. Keep going.
Okay. You want me to pause while you do that? So not only do they have to listen to us for an hour and a half, but the women were grateful for a break. So they were like, yeah, keep the show going, which made the guys more upset at us because it's like, hey, those are our girls. That was my favorite part. So the host does his time, eats shit. Then the second guy does his time, bombs.
That was me.
No, you were the third guy.
No, it was the second guy because it was only.
Sure?
Yeah, it was just.
Oh,
Frankie,
that's right. It went Frankie, you,
me.
Eric, me.
So like Frankie went up and I realized I was like, oh, it's gonna be a talking crowd. And then like I held on for a minute, dude. Like
you
my
were
set,
in there.
my set
I thought
was
you
like
went
going,
third. That's my bad. I thought
no.
Eric. So Frankie and Eric go, and listen, I love these guys. It was a tough room, and so then it gets to me, and I was supposed to do like 20, and I'm going last, and the guy's like, hey, you can just do like 5 if you want. I was like, I'm gonna do 20.
Bro, the funniest thing about this shit is like we know this is going bad. Like it was just like it's going downhill, dude. And I'm like, ugh. And you look at me and you say, I'm gonna go land this plane. I was like, all right. I was like, fucking Cody's here to save the day. I was so fucking pumped. And then you're going up there, and then these guys are just like after 5 minutes, like, fucking take the microphone. We want the girls. And then you're like, oh, no, you don't want material anymore? I'm just going to fucking riff then. And then you go, I fucked my uncle at family reunions. It's okay. He's a cop. And then the stripper's like next to me. She goes, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, you're watching a miracle, honey. And I handed her my card. And then you're like, JJ, start the car. We're about to fucking leave. Dude, honestly... Man. That was a wild show, dude. I actually made a reel about it on my TikTok and
I remember that
Instagram because I'm just like, it was so funny because I started off and I was like, I said I would do this show if there was a stripper pole on stage, and you guys pulled through, and there's like this fucking hick old Wichita dude, just like, what the fuck you gonna do on that pole? I was like, what am I gonna do? I did the shittiest little spin on it, dude.
It was fun.
Power move though. Fucking power move. I even did that move where I'm like, and I drop it down. Didn't like that. They did not like that, bro.
They were very stereotypical.
Oh man. Yeah, that's ooh.
The best part was, because it's like I was booked to do 20 minutes. It's like I want to do 20 minutes. We did because we drove 3 hours up there and we were gonna drive 3 hours back right after. I was like, I'm gonna do my 20, and I mean it went as bad as it could. I did 20 minutes. Now listen, I mean, comedy is a very loose definition of what was happening up there, but I was on stage speaking for 20 minutes. Yeah. A lot of, some call it crowd work. I call it a verbal altercation. A 15-minute verbal altercation with 2 very angry blue-collar gentlemen in the front row. The worst part was when I started talking about, like, fucking an older dude. And I was like, I know you. So he was getting pissed. And then I said that I was like, the guy that I was having sex with, I was like, he was named Gerald. And the guy says, you better, and I haven't gotten a single laugh yet. We're like 14 minutes in. He says, you better shut the fuck up about Gerald. I was like, oh, you know Gerald? Remember he pulled up his shirt and it said R.I.P. Gerald. And he said, that's my fucking granddad. And his buddy was like, oh shit. And I was like, all right. I'm like, we're in already. And I was like, oh, Gerald's your granddad. I was like, dude, I am sorry that you didn't know your granddad was fucking gay. And his friend dies laughing. It was my first laugh of the night. And I only have like 5 minutes left in my set. So every minute, like, they didn't give it. Every minute I would point at the guy's friend and be like, his grandpa's gay. And he's like, yeah. And his friend was fucking loving it.
It was a nice callback.
And that was the only... And then, at the end of my set, I was like, JJ, I'm not kidding you. We should like start the car and get out of here. We left within 45 seconds of my set ending.
Yeah, we took a photo with everyone, and then we were
out of there. That was wild.
I just love how you just said, Some call it crowd work. I call it a verbal altercation.
It was not. Crowd work's supposed to be fun. There's supposed to be laughs.
God.
They were like, somebody take the fucking mic from this guy. He sucks. I was like, pry it out of my cold, dead fingers, buddy. And Frankie's over there. He's like lighting me. He's like, you're done. I'm like, Frankie, I'm doing 20.
Throw in the towel.
Yeah, that was... I don't know.
Call the fight, ref. Call the fight.
I don't know what a professional would have done in that setting. So, but I'm not. That was fun. That was a good learning experience.
Good times, dude.
I think when it's going bad, like you have to lean into it to a certain degree. I'm not sure. I'm sure I should have learned something from that, but I just learned like, do your time. You know, we were up there for the whole. We did our time. That's
nothing more, nothing less, man. Just your time,
folks. It's been good. You know, thanks. Yeah. Man, that was fun. Yeah, we held it together pretty nicely. Yeah, your set actually went pretty solid. And I was like, oh yeah, we're off to the races, baby.
It was just kind of like this. Like it was just
you're riding the wave in the
pocket,
pocket,
we're
baby.
just riding it, man. But I just knew, like they were just there for the girls, bro. And that's tough. Don't blame them, dude.
Yeah,
because here's the thing. I love strippers, and I'm about to give out some bad advice here. Yes. Budgeting money. Here's some bad advice. Get a band, give a band. Go support your local strippers, bro.
That's funny.
They need it. And they have something to offer you, which is ass shaking in your face. I'm a big fan, dude. Strippers are actually some of my biggest supporters, bro.
Dude, I know some of the women that come to your shows. I'm like, she's working. I can tell the vibe, and they do love you. They support. They ride or die for you.
Yeah. That's well, not the ride part, but you know, or the die part. But they're big supporters. Yeah. They're supporters. You know, they show up. You know, they're just like, oh, we're just here to get Coke. You know, like,
our favorite funny bartender. Are you still bartending? Is that?
Yeah. Well, like you know, they're just like, no, we're just here to meet up with our Coke dealer, and you just so happen to have been here, dude. Like,
dude,
tell us a joke, funny man.
That's a great method for selling tickets. Is if you can get the drug dealers to come to the show, then they can get their clientele. So maybe, say tickets are $10. You give a drug dealer $50, and you tell him, like, hey, tell your clients to meet you here and buy from you here, and they have to buy a ticket. All you got to do is sell 5 tickets to break even on that.
Bro, you were in this like business mindset. I've never seen this side of you before.
I would say this is
I like it.
I would say this is more my natural state of being. Like at the open mics, yeah, you're trying to like write jokes and be funny. This is who I am like most of the time though.
Holy shit. It's
I would say this is much more like
don't let the jacket fool you. Our man's pretty damn smart when it comes to business, dude. But actually, I really do like that jacket.
I do like windbreakers. But that would be a good idea. Like if you have something with built-in demand at your show, I'm sure you could even work out, maybe instead of paying the drug dealer to be there, say, we'll give you the cut of the tickets. If you're there and your clients pay for a ticket to come to the show, we'll give you a cut of the tickets. I think drug dealers are there to make money.
And we're there to make funny.
Yeah, I think that would be a good
So if you want to make more funny.
The next Zuma show is going to have 600 people crammed in there. I'm going to see every shady character. And you got built-in security because they're all carrying guns, most likely. If they're not, that might be a dangerous business
there's a
practice.
Difference between like security and just like bouncers.
Dangerous individuals.
Yeah. It's we actually had these guys that worked at JJ's for a little bit, and they were MMA fighters. Like they train MMA and all that stuff, but they're like small dudes. And I remember this dude came in like one day, and he was like, "Man, I was here last night. Your fucking security's a joke, bro. Those guys are so small and tiny." And I was just like, "Did you look at them ears?" And it reminded me of that Neil Rubenstein joke.
Yes.
Because I was like, bro, I was like, look at their ears. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, they're cauliflowered as fuck, bro. I watched guys take down dudes bigger than you all the time. And they're like, oh, shit.
It is amazing to watch some of those small guys that are just super strong and have technique. It is really impressive.
Yeah.
Neil's funny.
Dude, Neil's a great dude.
His joke.
I was at that show where he has that reel online of like the fire alarm going off.
Yeah.
And he goes, I ain't fucking telling the government ain't gonna fucking tell me where to go.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he handled that nice.
Oh my God, dude. I was like, let's fucking go. He was like, afterwards, he was just like, I've been preparing for that moment my whole life, man. This is what I've been training for, dude. Like,
It is impressive, like, to be able to handle anything on stage. Like, when you see a real pro handle any type of disruption, it is really cool. Like, wanting to get there, it's inspiring. Like, when I was in New York City doing shows, and I did a few with Neil, so I got to, like, spend and just kind of see how he worked and got to talk to him about approaching, like, how he approaches stuff. He said, like, one good thing about New York City is that the scene is so rough and it's so hard, it will callous you. You'll be able to handle anything.
Yeah.
Any distraction, any type of crowd member, any type of venue, any type of show, you will have the tools to handle it and still thrive.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I would have handled that show at the strip club better if I was more experienced and had more skill.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it just comes with time, dude. I mean, how long have you been doing comedy?
2.5 years.
2.5 years? Yeah. I mean,
I'm approaching my 500th set.
nice.
I think I'm at like 471.
Oh, and that's what's up,
So
dude.
we're getting close.
That's cool, bro. Yeah, I'm coming up on 5 years.
Nice.
And I think it was at like year 3 where like I was like, oh, I think I'm starting to figure shit out.
Hopefully I experienced that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all, and everyone's path is different too. Like, there's people that started before me that are like, you know, doing bigger things. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah,
everyone
everybody's
has
on
their
their
own
own.
path. I just kind of you just gotta hone down just on your stuff, and you know, it all just kind of fucking will work out. The main thing is just like, don't stop.
Yeah.
Like,
Just,
I know
trying
some
to get
people are like,
good.
oh, I got to take a break for a couple of years. I'm like, for why? Like, don't do that.
That's so dumb.
Like, cause it's kind of like when I graduated high school and I was like, oh, I'm gonna like take a year off and then go to college, and then like they're like, no, my family's like, don't do that. Like, you're not gonna go back. And I was just like, and so I did like a semester and a half of college, and I was like, yeah, fuck this shit. It was just community college. It was all pretty much paid for, so I was like, yeah, fuck this, I'm done.
But still, like, you don't have to wonder what it would have been like if you went to school after high school. It's like, you know, you did the thing, so, and it wasn't for you, so at least you know.
Right.
That's much better than not attempting.
No, absolutely. No, I think like with comedy, like I've taken like not like breaks, but like I mean I still go out and get sets in here and there, but like sometimes I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna sit at home tonight and write.
Yeah.
And that's so much better sometimes. Like I feel like and I used to do it for a while, like the fucking every mic, hit up every mic, do all that stuff, and it's good. It's good to get those reps in and stuff. But eventually, I'm like, I don't need to hit up every single one. I could go home. I could go live and do something else for a second and gain inspiration for a new joke.
Yeah.
You
True.
know what I mean? And just I don't know. Sometimes it's nice just to sit at home and write.
Very true.
I was listening to this podcast with, CJ Landry, out in Austin, and he was talking about how Ralph Barbosa didn't hit up all the mics all the time.
Ralph is so good.
And they're like, yeah, he wasn't like a mic grinder. He wasn't, but every time he showed up, he had a new 5 minutes. That was just fucking stellar.
Damn.
And so it's just like, fucking, that's cool. But I don't know.
Ralph is so good.
He's so good, man.
He's inspiring.
I like his joke with like the Starburst.
The
Where
Starburst
he's like,
joke.
anyone like, someone like tries to fight me out of the bar, I just like pull out the Starburst, like, you want one?
Yes.
And I was like, fuck yeah. He's like that shit's just so funny, dude. Like, God. There's so many good comedians, bro, that are out and doing stuff. I think when I'm done with this, I'm going to go watch David Lucas's new special that just dropped.
Yeah.
I'm going to go watch that. I try to like, lately I've been trying not to watch like a lot of specials.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like I could get influenced in wrong ways at times.
Okay.
And so I'll be like, oh, I'm going to do something just like them. When I'm like, why can't I just do something just like me?
Okay, I see what you're
You know,
saying.
but like I don't know, there's just certain comedian, like I used to watch like a special a night.
Yeah.
and then like I would watch all those like old Def Comedy Jams and shit, and I felt like it was making me dumber. And like no, in a sense of like there's like every episode there's like one or two like really good comedians, but then there were so many other ones that just came up, and I'm like, what the I feel like I'm watching an open mic.
Yeah, I can see
Like
that.
you know, like sometimes I'm like
Learning what not to do can also be helpful, though.
Yeah, but it was just like, ugh. I was like, this. It would like irritate me and like stress me. I'm like, why the fuck are you just go in and do your set? Like, go in and do your jokes. Quit doing like everyone say yeah, everyone do this, and then you like do a fucking weird little dance and be like, my dick, and then they'd walk off. I was like, what the fuck was that? Like, and you got on HBO for that? I don't know. It just kind of bugged me a little bit, but. Kyle Kinane was telling me, he was like, I don't watch any specials.
Interesting.
He was just like, I want plausible deniability. He was like, if someone's like, well, I heard someone else do a joke similar to that, he's like, I don't know. Like, because I don't really watch all that, you know? It's weird, like, you know, like Johnny Depp doesn't watch his own movies.
Very interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, like he doesn't, he's never seen a single one of his movies.
Huh.
He like doesn't, he goes to the premiere, but like doesn't watch it, he, like just leaves.
Interesting. I wonder if that's... I wonder where that comes from. Like, is he just not interested in the project? Does he not want to see himself from that side of it?
He's probably just like, I'm ugly.
Maybe there is an element of insecurity to it.
My teeth were so bad in Pirates of the Caribbean. My wife just shit all over the bed.
Sometimes when I watch specials or comedy or anything, it's like I'll feel motivated to keep pushing outside of whatever like bubble I feel like I'm in. Like it's like, oh, comedy can be anything. Like I like watching stuff that's very different. Like have you ever heard of Rory Scovel?
I've heard that name.
He's a comedian. He just came out with a new special probably like a week ago on HBO, and he's just so different. Like a few months ago, I saw him live here in Oklahoma City. It was the best live comedy show I've ever been to. Him and Anthony Jeselnik. Totally opposite ends of style. But it was just so different. Like it was, everything felt like ephemeral and like improv almost. And then you watch the special and it's like, oh, this is all his material. Like he just presents it in such a way where it feels so spontaneous and he's so weird and wacky. And that's what I want to be. So like seeing that helps me keep in mind like, hey, just because at an open mic, everybody's just standing there saying their stuff and they kind of shit on you a little bit for being zanier. Like you still got to push yourself. Like nothing great can ever be achieved within your comfort zone. Oh, yeah. So like pushing yourself outside of that's very key. And it's easy to get complacent because it's never going outside of your comfort zone is never something you become comfortable with, if that makes sense. Otherwise it wouldn't be outside your comfort zone. So like this new, like I told you, I want to be able to do crowd work. I want that tool. So at 2 mics a week, I force myself in the middle of my set to do crowd work, and I suck at it. I'm fucking terrible. But it's like, okay.
You don't learn how to drive a parked car, bro.
You can't learn, like, it's like, you know, I'm still not great at stand-up, but I'm better than I was when I started, and that's because I have done a bunch. So it's like if I want to become good at crowd work one day, I have to do it. It's not just going to wake up and happen. So, yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I like consuming different types of entertainment.
That's cool. I dig that. Yeah, I think sometimes I have to like bring myself like down. Sometimes I'm like, why am I not here yet? Like, why am I not?
Yeah,
and I have to like remember. I'm like, where I'm at now, me almost 5 years ago would be like, fucking hey, dude, like you're fucking doing that. Like that's cool. Like, I mean, yeah. So sometimes I have to like bring myself down and just be like, dude, honestly, I'm just fucking happy to be doing comedy. Like it's great. I love that feeling I get with like a booking email that I'm like, ooh.
Yeah,
like,
that's cool.
It's like,
the show's nice.
It's like, oh, this is a cool feeling. Like you're getting like a show that you're like super excited about, you know, and then like you go and you meet that person and, you know, you shoot the shit with them a little bit. Then you fucking open up for them. And then, you know, you build this like camaraderie and all this stuff with fucking touring comics and stuff. That's like, cool. You know, I always like, you just become friends with the feature and stuff as well. And they're just like, hey, if you're ever in our town, hit us up, dude. Let's hang out and maybe you get a spot for you on something, you know? Like,
yeah, that's sick.
It's like fucking, you're like, oh, wow, like this is so cool. So whenever I get like bummed out about something, I just remember that I'm like, dude, I have that.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm fucking stoked about it, dude. I love doing comedy, and I love watching everyone else grow, dude. It's cool. I love watching the scene grow. The scene is growing. Everyone's fucking getting work, dude. Everyone's getting shows. You know, it's fucking dope, man. Like, yeah, it's cool. Do you have anything, like any show you got coming up you want to promote? You got anything you want to promote?
I don't think so. Not really. Just trying to get better, you know.
Just trying to get better, dude.
trying to run the business better. Trying to get better at stand up. Right? Yeah, trying to run the weed business better, trying to get better at stand up, you know. Just constantly improving.
Where can we follow you?
Usually out to my car. Now, I mean, I'm on like Instagram and stuff.
I've got candy.
I don't really post a bunch. I'll probably eventually have to get on that, but the Cody Trout Pod is a podcast that exists. Episodes don't come out very often, but it exists.
The old episodes are out. You can go watch.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, you know, one day I hope to make it more regular, but you know, I talked for an hour here. You probably got your fill. I think
he hasn't done a podcast in like 3 months, dude. He was fucking. It's like built up, dude.
It's
he just
literally,
literally.
I think it was 4 months, but
he's gonna sleep so good tonight. It's like he just busted a fat nut of podcasting, dude. And he's gonna go home and just be like, you eat like a cookie, like drink a little Coke Zero, and be like,
I do like Coke Zero. That was good.
You're just gonna be like, oh god. Yeah, that was a good day. And you're gonna go to sleep.
I gotta go home. I got some work to do. Then I'm gonna watch an episode of the X-Files and then go to bed.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Mulder and Scully, baby.
Yeah. I am watching Airbender in Suits right now.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Avatar: The Last Airbender, the cartoon. I actually haven't watched the new live action series.
That's what I'm watching, the live action.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
It's pretty good. Okay, yeah, I was gonna ask if it was holding up well.
No, I'm a big fan. I like it.
I might have to check it out.
Yeah.
Dude, thanks for having me.
Dude,
that was
thanks
so
for
fun.
coming, man. It was a great time.
I went right. Let's do left arm. There we go. I fucked up my. That was a lot better. I went under. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
JJWoodComedy.com, at JJWoodComedy on all your social media platforms. This has been another episode of the Keeping It Wood podcast. We'll see you next week. Peace.